My strength and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. That is a powerful thought right there, powerful scripture right there. And it really helps us in times of difficulty to understand that, failure, it is a part of life, it is a part of the process. The road to success is paved with people that failed over and over and over again, but they got up, they took the learning, applied what they learned, and they kept going, they kept pushing on. And a lot of them understood that God was the portion, the strength behind what they were trying to achieve in their lives. Welcome to another episode of Insights with Vinnie Mac. My name is Vince, aka Vinnie Mac. On this channel, I share with you insights from a godly perspective, as well as practical skills from a coaching perspective, to help you in terms of your journey, helping you transform yourself from where you are to where you are capable of being with your life. See, there are infinite possibilities of who you are capable of being. And when you start focusing on the external factors and start focusing on yourself, you start becoming the greatest version of you. And hopefully through this channel, you start gaining those insights and start getting the understanding of who you were or who you are called to be, because you are fearfully and wonderfully created. And I hope that by you viewing this channel, you start realizing that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you subscribe to my channel, liking the content, as well as hearing from you. I would love to hear your insights and your feedback. Today we're looking at the concept of failure, So often we are afraid to try in life because we are afraid of failing. We are afraid of what people will say if we do try and do fail. We are afraid of opinions out there instead of looking inside of us and saying, why is this important to me to try? And that is where we need to start making that shift. You need to start understanding what is the difference that it's going to make in your life by you trying. What is the impact of you trying? What is the outcomes of the impact of you trying going to have on your life? And you need to stop focusing on other people out there. Most people are living their lives on this little reel, this little highlight reel on social media, giving us the pretense of who they want us to think they are in life. But in actual fact, that is not who they are. That is just a glimpse of who they are. It's just a moment captured in time. And we use that as the benchmark, as the standard of who we're supposed to be in life. When in actual fact, the Lord Himself says, I know the thoughts that I have towards you, to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. So if the God of the universe wants to prosper you, wants to prop you up, wants to lift you on high, if He says that you are fearfully and wonderfully created, that you have infinite potential within inside of you, why are you looking towards social media? Why are you looking at other people to tell you how to live, how to be, what the standard in your life is supposed to be? The late great Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, I used to love the way he used to do coaching. He used to do coaching from the Lord's perspective, as well as from insights from the coaching sphere. And that is what I try to mimic with regards to my work as well. Because that is a really inspiring work, a really inspiring approach that he has taken or that he used to take in his journey. I might not be on his level, I might be striving to get towards his level, because the impact that he had on people's lives, still today you can feel the impact resonating amongst people that he touched. And that is the kind of legacy that I'm working towards impacting people's lives so that they can see, so that they can pass on that impact to their children and their children's children. I want to impact lives in such a level that people are moved, stirred, to really become the best of who they are capable of being. But to understand that, I need to understand my role and my place in God. And that is what I bring across through in my coaching as well, my understanding, my definition of who God is in my life. I make God relevant in my life, because without His clarity, without His insight, I cannot provide insight. I cannot provide clarity through these videos as well. And that is why, I love my life as an example. I speak out of the examples of my life. I do not try to pull examples from the outer sphere there and then try and prompt it up to you here as knowledge and insight and wisdom that I gain. No, I use examples out of my own personal life. I take embarrassing moments out of my life, and I take the learning that I got out of those moments and I share them with you, so that hopefully you can look at your life and say, maybe this experience wasn't so bad. Maybe there was actually something that I needed to learn out of all of that. I look at the way my marriage failed. That was like very heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. My children were right there, caught in the middle of the storm. The impact of that it relates still to this day, or it resonates still to this current day. I'm still working on fixing those relationships as well. I failed as a husband, I failed as a father. I have to rebuild those bridges, and I'm going through the process of rebuilding those bridges. But I had to start the process with myself first. I had to reconnect with who I am and who I am capable of being. I can't live my life in the past and say, well, I live my life based on the failures that happen in my life. I have to look at those failures and say, you know what, this happened. This is my part that I played in these failures. But this is what I learned out of that failure. This is what I can apply now going forward and teaching to my children, rebuilding my relationship with my daughters, because they are my life. They are the focal point of my life. They're the reason why I'm trying to get myself up to this level so that I can provide for them the life that I believe that they deserve. So I don't know what your reasons are right now, but I want to tell you that failure is not final in your life. It was part of the process. It was meant for you to learn something out of that. And you need to start changing the images that you see in your head and the conversations that you relay regarding those failures. Because that is how I made the change in my life. I saw these negative images in my head and I was having these negative conversations around that particular failures in my life. And it was dragging me down into a pit. And I couldn't see beyond that pit because I couldn't see beyond these failures and the impact that they had on my life. And then I started changing the images. And I started changing the stories that I told myself around these images. And I wasn't lying to myself, I wasn't deluding myself. I was just focusing on the truth that occurred in this place. You see, my marriage might have failed, yes. And it might have failed spectacularly, and I played a big part in that, and I accept that now. But I also understand that I would have never grown to the level that I've grown right now. My marriage didn't fail, because it granted me an opportunity to start discovering who I am. It gave me the opportunity to start looking inside of myself and seeing who I'm capable of being. And that is pushing me harder and harder each day to strive to become that man. So whatever your failure is right now, don't dwell on that failure. Don't dwell on the negativity of that failure. Yes, you need to acknowledge that failure because it happened. It is a part of who you are. It is a part of your history. But it doesn't have to define your future. You just need to change the image around that failure and the conversations that you're having with yourself regarding that failure. You need to start reframing that whole image, that whole failure, that whole conversation. Start shaping it and shifting it in terms of the purpose and the plan that God has predestined for your life. I really hope that you got some value out of this conversation today, and I would love to hear your feedback with regards to this particular conversation. So please do drop me your comments. I will get back to you on each and every single comment that is posted with regards to this particular video because I love to hear from you. I'd love to speak to you. I would love to engage with you. Alright, so thank you very much for joining me for another episode of Insights with Vinnie Mac. I would love to say change your thinking, change your world.